What's up all my RC enthusiasts out there? Birdman Aviator here. I thought I'd bring you a short 5-minute video on a very basic RC airplane setup. Let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to need, of course, is the airplane. We're not going to go into any details on what airplane to get. You guys do your research. You can find an airplane out there. There's lots of different types of airplanes for this very basic setup. So the second thing after that would be the transmitter. And transmitters come in very, very different shapes and sizes, and they have so many different transmitters out there, it's ridiculous. I went with Radiomaster TX16S because I knew over time from my research that I did that I would grow into it. I honestly have only used, I think, 4 channels on this receiver so far in all the setups that I've done. So yeah, this uses OpenTX, which allows me to connect to all different types of receivers out there. So the second thing you need is a transmitter. All right, going on to the third thing. The third thing that you're going to need in this basic setup is going to be the receiver. Got to have the receiver. This is a FlySky IA6B. It has 6 channels on it, and then it also has the binding channel to bind it to the transmitter. I've already bound this one to the transmitter. And basically all the different channels controls all the different devices on your airplane. So now the next thing that we're going to talk about is going to be the ESC. The ESC, this is a 40 amp ESC. It brings power to the receiver and other devices, and it also hooks up to the motor. So this is where you would plug the battery in, and then this plugs, which we're going to do right now, into channel 3. Now I want to make it known that this is power negative, and then you have your signal. So you're going to plug that. The signal always goes up, and for this basic setup you're going to go into channel 3. So I counted over to channel 3. The signal wire is facing up. The next thing that we're going to talk about is, of course, the motor. The motor plugs into the ESC. And basically these 3 wires just go in here. It's very simple. It's very simple. There's all types of motors out here. I'm not going to really recommend a motor. You guys find what you like best. There's a lot of motors out there, okay? And so the next thing we're going to get into is the servos. The servos are what control your elevator, which is up and down, your rudder, your anything really that you put on the plane besides the motor. It will control, you can even make them like control your cameras, like turning your cameras left and right, stuff like that. And they're pretty much the same as the ESC cord. They have a negative, a positive, and then they also have a signal wire, which is the yellow one on this setup. So I got to make sure when I plug it in, it's facing upward for the signal. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring in another servo. You can see it still has a little arm on here that I had hooked to the rudders or whatnot. And then you can see here I'm plugging this into channel 1. So there, 1 channel, 2 channel, 3 channel. And that's your basic setup right there for this. Now there is another thing that still comes into play, and that's going to be your battery, which I told you. They come in all shapes and sizes. You find what's best for you. There's all different types of sizes and things. Okay, so now you can see this is blinking, and it's blinking because the receiver is not able to talk to the transmitter because the transmitter is turned off. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn the transmitter on right now. And you can see it talks to me. It has a safety mechanism so that I can't like run the throttle up when I turn it on and cut my finger off. So I'm just going to go ahead, and you can see now it's connected, it's talking, the receiver light is completely green, and you can see I can make my plane do things. This is kind of broken, guys, but this moves, you can see. And then, you know, I got my up and down, which is my elevator, if I wanted to hook that up to elevator. And then you can also see my throttle here. Be very careful doing something like this. You don't want to cut your finger or something with the propeller on there. So there you have it. Most basic airplane RC setup. Birdman Aviator out.
If this video helped you out at all, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel a lot and really makes us continue our content. Thank you.